Guess what? It was that time of year again on January 31st, Saturday, where a local city library had their annual used book sale. This is the third year we have gone. First year, my husband and 2 kids went. Last year, my son was sick, so only my daughter and I went. But this year, we all got well in time to go. And this is not a part of the county. This is a city library. And the sale opened on Monday, and that was for donors to go to first. And then Tuesday through Friday is open to the public. And then Saturday, it's still open to the public, but everything is 10 cents. And that's when we go, because we love books, especially if they're 10 cents a piece, because, well, that's just fabulous. And they also had magazines, DVDs, and who else knows what else that was available before the 10-cent day. Maybe puzzles. I think there were some CDs there. So they have a nice variety of things. Now, I will say the previous 2 years on the 10-cent day, they are still jam-packed with books. They have about 10 or 11 long banquet folding tables full of books. They break it down by genre. They also would have boxes under the tables full of books to put out as, supplies were running out. And they also had library carts full of book overflow, DVDs, CDs, etc. So there was no shortage come 10-cent day. But it was different this year. When we got there, there was at least like a table and a half empty. And the supplies, the books, the genre selections were very limited. There were no books in boxes under the tables. There were literally just 3 magazines left. No puzzle things. So either they had a very good turnout this year, which is great, or they just had less to sell. One or the other, maybe a combo of both. But that doesn't mean we didn't find things. We spent $3.50, which means we found 35 things. We just gave $4, an extra 50-cent donation of money well spent. And my husband made out really well this year, as well as our homeschool supplemental material. But let's get into what we got. My son found a DVD for Pokemon. He likes to keep these handy in case the internet goes out and we can't stream things. And here is a Christmas CD, classic Christmas songs. Can't have too many of, these handy come Christmas time. We got 4 books in this series. These are groundbreakers for Isaac Newton, Marie Curie, Charles Darwin, and Thomas Edison. And this works out because we'll be using 2 of these this month for birthdays. It's Thomas Edison's and Charles Darwin this month, February. All right, some more random homeschooly books. My daughter found this book. It is a former library book. The other books were also a former library book. And this is Science of Fun Stuff, Crayola, The Secrets of Cool Colors and Hot Hues. And wasn't going to say no to that if she's interested in it for homeschool. And then we have this book here, Abe Lincoln, President for the People. Abraham Lincoln's birthday's this month. I already have another book to use for this month, but I love stocking up on the same topic so that each year we have some fresh new material. And then my daughter found this. It is A True Book, Brazil. And I like to use these types of books for her science read-alouds. Just, focusing in on her interests right now. She is in 1st grade. And then the 50 States Fact book. It is a Reader's Digest learning book. I'm curious what year this is. Let's see. It's on the back, 2006. So, you know, of course, this can be supplemental material. It is not current, but has some, you know, true, won't change facts in it that it'll work. Then this was interesting. I've never seen this before. Eyes on America Arts and Entertainment. It looks like it's part of a series. Again, it is dated, but I mean, that's okay. This is just a fun read-aloud book for like social studies. And lastly, Trailblazers and the Modern World, Albert Einstein. Ooh, I just hit my chin. Good for when it's his birthday and, you know, just a good supplemental couch reading, read-aloud homeschool book. All right, time for some random books. My daughter found this. It is an old shoebox book from Hallmark, and it's like a dual book. So this side says, cats are from Venus, dogs are from hell. And then the opposite side says, dogs are from Venus, cats are from hell. And she is actually trying to read this independently. Of course, there are a lot of words in here we have not gotten to, but we love initiative. And how can you say no for 10 cents? And then my son found this, and my daughter wanted it too. ICANN has cheeseburgers. Do you remember that? That took me back. And they love a good meme. I found this, Julia Child, A Life. You know, I don't gravitate towards biographies often unless it's Michael J. Fox. But for 10 cents, I'll give it a whirl. And it's cute, fits in my purse. And I'm a sucker for stuff like this, and I usually end up feeling blasé after I read it, but apparently I am a glutton for punishment. Love of Quilts, a treasury of classic quilting stories. I think they're short stories, which it's hit or miss if I like short stories, but 10 cents. If I don't get into it, I can put it in a little library for someone else to enjoy. And then this was over in the teen section. It's another former library book that is in perfect condition. And it's from the library the book sale is from. I have no idea why they weeded it out. It's from 2021. But it is Baseball's Leading Lady, Effa Manley, and the Rise and Fall of the Negro Leagues. And I don't know anything about her. And it is, I don't think it's ever been read. I mean, there is like nowhere to this whatsoever. And I figure I'll read it, and then eventually my kids can read it, and you can see my reflection. But I was interested in it. And I am not one to be like, ooh, I'm not going to read a teen book. I'm not a teen. I'm going to read a teen book if it's interesting. And my daughter, the little foodie, was browsing the cookbooks and found 2 books she wanted to take home because she liked the pictures. Great Meals in Minutes, Chinese menus. And we do enjoy our Chinese food here. And then Southern Living, all-time favorite, low-fat recipes. We are not one to preach low-fat, low-cal, whatever to our kids. She just really thought this looked delicious. So she wanted to take this home. So that was it for what I'll call personal books. But my husband made out like a bandit. This is a whole box here for his classroom library for both theater, mainly theater, and a few books for history. So they had like an arts and entertainment section, but also a lot of plays were in the fiction table area. So it's just one of those looking through everything and holding them up. You want this? You want this? And for 10 cents, of course. All right, let's just go through these. We have Customer Service, a 1-act play, and Molière's Tartuffe, or as I like to say, Tartuffe. And then we have Shakespeare Made Easy, 12th Night, and No Fear Shakespeare, The Tempest. I know some teachers poo-poo on these, but my husband wants to make sure that these plays are accessible and understandable and tries to offer different ways to make that happen for his students. All right, a lot of Shakespeare. We have Henry IV and V, Love Finding a Duo. And then we have The Tempest and A Midsummer's Night Dream. Taking a little break from Shakespeare, we have A Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams. And let's see what we got. We have Lysistrata. Oedipus, all of the plays, Oedipus the King, Oedipus, just all of them. Like, if you know Greek theater. Another Shakespeare, Julius Caesar, as well as Macbeth, and it has the original and modern English parallel, so that's going to be super helpful. And if I see, oh, nope, one more theatery book, The Business of Acting. Learn the skills you need to build the career you want. And this brings me back to college because we had a lot of books like that. And then the 2 history books. He teaches American history, but he likes to have a variety of stuff for kids to peruse if they're interested. And we have Instant European History, a complete education without the tuition, from the French Revolution to the Cold War, as well as the Normans, from Raiders to Kings. So this is going to come out of our money because we don't have a receipt to submit for reimbursement for his teacher lead money that he gets each year. But for 10 cents, we will just take the hit and donate it to his classroom because these kids need some access to the arts. All right, so yeah, we spent $3.50, $4 in total, gave a 50-cent donation. And while the selection was much more limited than in years past, I think we did good. And then we will check them out again next year. All right, I hope you enjoyed this little haul, and support your library, support their used book sales, and happy reading. Talk to you later. Bye.